Summer 22 season in the books. We have a familiar faces, the champs, Lob City. Nuri Mahmoud joins us from Lob City. The guys are still around, so you might hear some noise in the background. But Lob City, the champs, they take down the Werewolves 72-50. Colin Burns, your finals MVP, after Jose Mercado runs in late and then passes off the award. So let's get to Nuri really quick. Were you on the team that played him in summer 19?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Nah, but you a GOAT.
Colin walking by, but they played him before, but this game specifically, I mean, you played him, I think, earlier in the year.
In this year and last year too. Yeah.
So he's familiar with the opponent, but thanks, Cade. So you knew the Werewolves coming in, and what was your guys' game plan going into this one to have this result turn out how it did?
Yeah, we knew there was basically a 1-2 punch, so we just figured between myself and W, we would play their primary guys, and then we put other guys in float. So basically, just kind of helping away from their non-primary scorers.
Yeah, so we talk a lot about Jose. I mean, it was nice to see him, I'm sure, show up.
Yeah, that was nice, yeah.
But let's get to Colin, because, I mean, Jose, which is super nice, he's been here before, obviously, but, shouts out Colin, and I'll break some news. Colin's going to be most improved as well, and it's much deserved, especially looking from last season to this season. But Colin Burns, your finals MVP, and so even just on him and his impact in this game, I mean, it was early, him down low and you down, that post presence. But Colin specifically, what does he bring?
He's a force, dude. He's the guy's like 6'4", 260, you know what I'm saying? And he moves like a real shooting guard, so it's a hard cover, you know what I'm saying? And then, like I said, we got a lot of grown man bodies on the floor, so guys get tough trying to. It's 8.5 feet, you know what I'm saying? When you're 6'3", it's maybe a 50% jump to get there. So when you're bringing that much force every time, he's going up his hardest. So like that, he said if he missed, he a lot of times gets a second rebound, puts up the second jump, and he bumps you so hard on the first when you give so much effort trying to stop him. You're not ready to give that quick second jump, and he beat you on the second one. So he's just a force. I think he really put his head down and decided he's going to lay off the jumpers, force guys to defend him at the rim. Right? I think he'd like to shoot the three. In the regular season, guys have a little more fun. You know what I'm saying? But in the championship, he knew what it took. And in the playoffs, he probably shot maybe 5 threes all playoffs. And I think getting to the rim is ultimately what makes us the best team in this league. We don't rely on the long threes to save us. You know what I mean? We take the high percentage shots.
Yeah, spoken like a coach, because I was telling these guys before the game, I was looking at some stats for your team, right? And I was like, all right, so one way for the Werewolves to kind of make up for that.
You gotta have the numbers,
threes,
you gotta make the numbers up.
And so you guys are made the third fewest threes in the season. The Werewolves made the second fewest. Right, and so it's like, all right, well, that's not necessarily how we're going to. That's right, and so especially come.
Well, I know ironically, what got them here was that. Yep. So they stepped up, and that showed their ability to raise their level. Yeah. But again, them shots, the best player in the world shoots that shot at like 45%. So if we could shoot dunks and layups at 85%, you got to have a lot more volume on the three-point line, and with that comes long rebounds and run-offs, which is also a high percentage for us. So it's a tough strategy to figure it out. You know what I mean? It's a tough game plan. We talk about game plans every week. You know what I mean? Like specific game plans and how we're going to defend guys. And I don't know if other teams do that or not, but we do. And I think that's what keeps us at a high level. We don't just show up and expect to beat people. We take everyone serious.
Yeah, and credit to Cade. I mean, you've seen, I don't want to speak for you, but the league is getting better.
Yeah, of course.
So you definitely need
I thought before there was maybe 1 or 2 teams competing for championships. Now there was I think there was legit 4 competing for a championship, maybe even 5. You know what I mean? We almost took a bad one in the semis.
Yep.
I think we lost the first 3 quarters, right? Literally lost all 3 quarters, was trailing. Yep. And only won the 4th quarter on the differential and ultimately the game. So that's just the way sports is.
Yeah. Let's get to these guys quick, and you can go back and forth with them if you don't mind. So even Aidan on this one, we came in talking about rebounding. I mean, defense, which you already touched on. Getting to the rim and that being a huge thing. What was the key? I mean, 22-point win, second half. They blew it open in the second, but
I think the key was once Jose came in, he locked up Brian. I've never seen someone lock up Brian that well in a game. And I think that's credit to Lob City and them game planning and being able to play championship basketball, because now they're 6 and 7. They've only lost 1. Bad loss. But they were able to lock up everybody. And the threes, like you talked about, Joey, not many. They were shooting threes. Some of them were going in, some of them weren't.
They
didn't really matter. They made some tough ones, but they're both rim running teams, and they play through the paint, they play through twos, and that's what they did. But their defense this game, and Jose's defense just stopped Brian, stopped their Superman, as they were calling him.
Having him come off the bench is another tough cover too, because a lot of teams ain't very deep in this league. You know what I mean? Once they go they're 6 and 7. It's kind of like
they only have 6 guys.
Yeah.
Word.
So,
word. Okay. So they're happy. They're 7. That's what I'm saying.
right.
Their 7 is no 7. So,
right.
Yeah. It's tough. You know what I mean? I'm not a GM. I've had them experiences in men's league, so I don't do that. But it's a testament to Cody, and we're lucky to have friends that are good players. You know what I mean? These dudes, we all been friends for a long time. So that adds to it too. I think there are about 5 or 6 of us we've been playing since we were kids. So that makes a big difference in the fact that we're all grown men now and we're still pretty good players. Yeah, it helps.
Yeah, it does.
It helps.
Sim, you had Lob City coming in.
Yeah.
I know you brought it. There you go. That's right. But even your focus on Colin and the key for them, Jose coming off the bench, but their defense, if you want to touch on that. I mean, I think early they were getting inside and a lot of loose balls, and then the second half, I noticed, and you can touch on this, I think the defense was like, all right, everything else is working, let's focus on the defense and put it away. What'd you see that allowed them to get the win?
Yeah, so I think it was obvious you guys did your homework on the Werewolves. You knew who their primary ball handlers were, you knew who weren't. You guys were sending late help, defense, a lot of times creating deflections, which led to runouts. And once that happens, you can kind of demoralize the team and also get them, they looked gassed. The Werewolves looked gassed, going into half.
I thought you hit the nail on the head. They I don't like to say it, but they kind of they felt defeated. It was obvious, and for me, I talk about that, especially coaching kids. You got to take that from people, because when guys are confident and guys feel like they can win, a lot of crazy shit happens. They gave up a 7-point swing last week to let a team go to overtime in the last minute because they was kind of playing not to lose instead of playing to kind of kill people. So you got to take that hope from people. I said to somebody before the game on my team, I said I want to take their will to win in the first half. I really don't want them to think they can win. And like that, Jose coming late, he was up 13 when he walked in the door. And they was, I think, even Landmines, they kind of smart because I think they realized he wasn't here. And none of us even mentioned it. You know what I mean? We didn't even. It is what it is. We go to war with who was here, who was ready to win or lose with the team that we had. And obviously he's a great player. I'm not saying I don't want him to show up, but he was prepared to win regardless. But having him do that, he's a great teammate. And like that, him giving up the award is a testament to the kind of teammate he is too. You know what I mean? Because I'm sure he deserved that award, obviously by the numbers, but he recognizes that Colin contributed more than just numbers. You know what I'm saying? With his energy and his effort and just his presence throughout the playoffs.
Yeah, and we'll so first, before we get to the balanced scoring, which is made our decision hard for Finals MVP.
Super hard. Super hard.
There's a lot of
like a playoff MVP.
Yeah. There's a lot of times in this league, especially when it's a team that's been here, let's say like the Werewolves or like the Ozone Boys or whatever, against, let's say Ozone against you guys, right? I mean, I think just even to touch on that and not to bring up losses with you guys, but on your point where when teams hang around. And teams have that belief, like it's the third quarter, maybe.
And that was a good matchup for us because like that they had like 2 or 3 guys that's like similar size to me and Colin, the brothers, right? They're twins or whatever. And then a couple of the younger dudes, a couple of them dudes played for me. Shout out to me. That's why them kids are tough. You know what I'm saying? Paul and Andrew. You know what I mean? Them guys play hard-nosed Providence style basketball. I know they're from Cranston. They play Providence style.
That's right.
So that was a good matchup for us, and they beat us. It was a good game. Lucky for us, it was a regular season game. So we understand the difference between the regular season and the postseason. I think it's clear just in the attendance, the guys being here to warm up. It's a men's league. I show up 5 minutes early most games. So it's just a level of preparation and intensity and focus that comes in the playoffs that teams got to be ready to handle. And I think teams got to buff up the roster a little bit with the bodies. Like that, you can't expect to go 6 deep and beat us. You got to have 4 guys on the floor that can be a threat at all times if you want to compete for a championship in this league.
That's right. So, Cade, even that balance scoring, then we'll get out of here and then we'll get back. Nuri's doing awesome, so it's great to have him.
Thank you.
But Cade, even the balance scoring. So I know Jose had 18, Colin, we know how many. 13. I mean, these guys.
He
know
sat
more
the
than
fourth quarter though.
That's right. I know, and stomach, right?
His chest.
So his chest. So the balance scoring is a lot about them, especially in this game when it's easy for any one of you guys to be like, nope, my turn. And so Cade, the balance scoring for them, I think, was the difference on offense. We touched on the defense, but their offense, I think, was really moving and efficient and balanced.
Yes, that's kind of what's separated them from the Werewolves. The Werewolves got the 2 main scorers, Sam and Ryan. But when it comes to Lob City, anybody can score at any given time. Carl. Almost, I think he was the leading scorer.
Almost tore the rim off.
Yeah, almost breaks the rim every time he goes up there.
Yeah.
You know, the rim's going to need some work after the season. But yeah, you got Colin making a difference, just sitting out the whole fourth anyway. Still made a huge difference, won that Finals MVP. Anybody can score. Obviously, we know their defense is real. Cody can shoot. Greg always going to score. He hit a couple. And basically, that's what it comes down to. When you got Werewolves with the two main scorers, you know who to guard, you know who to lock down. And that's basically the difference for this game.
Cool. And so while he does that, your moment of the season, the moment of the season. Quickly, then we'll get up to the 10 minutes. But what's your, obviously them winning is going to be your, I get it, a championship for you guys. But
I got some good moments.
Good. So we'll go down the line. So like summer 22, what stands out when you think back? And I put Aidan on the spot.
This competition. I've been around the league since 2019. Played on the 0-9 Basket Hounds. But it doesn't matter. But the competition has crazily increased, as Nuri said, and the whole Lob City said. And the future of this league looks bright. And I think the biggest performance would be Gian Abdizian dropping 90 with only two other people on the court. I mean, they did play only the fam. They don't play defense.
Yeah, I heard about
But
that.
that was, breaking that record that Jose set on the Basket Hounds a couple years ago. It just, he broke it. Yeah. We had 16, almost 3. But that probably was the biggest moment. But like I said before, is the competition has gotten so much better, and it makes these games so much more interesting. And it's not a blowout every single game like some games used to be. It's sometimes 10, 15 points, and I think the competition and just great teams all around is the biggest.
And the score don't always reflect the game.
Right.
This is a kind of league where the runouts and the buckets at the rim are so easy for 90% of the guys that you can be close the whole game and lose by 12, 15 just because you got down 6 or 7 and to play the foul game. So that's not always indicative of the quality of the game.
Yeah. Tim?
I'm gonna go with the Rhode Island Warriors. I think the way they started off, obviously you guys played in week 1, you guys beat them at 50.
132 points.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
That's one of my highlights.
Yeah.
And then they lost to GS the next week by 20, and we were like, oh, is this team, what are they?
That gave them a little taste of what they
And
did.
then they broke off 6, 7 straight wins. They played you guys very well in the semis.
Yep.
Nobody really expected that with them because they don't really have a true big. They had Antonio Graziano, who was playing that role for them, but they were able to play you guys as a team with a lot of size as well.
Yeah, they offset it with shooting for sure.
All right, Cade,
Yeah.
you're last.
I would say my first game, like for Legacy Leagues, working here and watching, was that 50-point win for Warriors in Lob City. And I came into this league thinking like maybe I would want to start a team one day, play with my friends. And then I walked in and I saw this guy and Jose and Colin destroy that team by 50. And I was like, you know what, I might have to sit this one and think about it.
Take a little back seat.
So my future with Legacy Leagues as a player might be a little in the water right now, but we'll have to see. But yeah, definitely watching you guys at my first game, watching you guys win it all was a very cool experience.
Yeah, I'll say the near triple-double for me is fun. Obviously, my shining moment. But I think
shy.
Yeah, but I think coming into this playoffs, having, you said it, 4 contenders, right, in quotations, not getting the Duyer's Lob final, is something that will definitely stand out. The two best teams in the regular season, I think, clearly. And then, especially that semifinal game, I think, where you talked about it, where Werewolves deserve to win, right? Especially in that fourth quarter, and then big momentum swing, and it gives them hope. And then I expected the Duyer's boys to kind of
once they force the overtime.
For sure. I mean, that's just a team that's won it, been there, giving second, third life. And for the Werewolves to still win it, credit to them. So your moment, in addition to obviously winning it all, but
my highlight of the season. I'd say my highlight of the season, obviously winning the championship was a highlight, but in terms of like competitiveness and toughest games, that Warriors semifinals game was probably for me the most exciting game. It was a real challenge. We had to step up and play. Like that, probably one of the most prolific scorers in the league. The kid had almost 100 kills.
yeah.
He scored, I think, 40 that game against us. And like that, they hit a lot of tough shots. Hada, another school of Nuri Mahmoud player. Shout out to you, my dog. He played real good too. They hit tough shots, but again, as good as them shots are, it's not a sustainable way of playing. It's a 35% shot at best. So if you make them for 3 quarters, the numbers just tell me you're not going to make it in the fourth, and that's what we live and die by. We make guys shoot tough shots. We try to leave no shots uncontested. You hear me say that a lot when we're playing. Jab at them, you know what I mean? Make guys beat us at the rim and beat us through contact. And especially with a lot on the floor fouls, shooting fouls for a lot. So it allows us to just get in a good spot. And then for me, my personal highlight was all the transition stops this game. A lot of guys started doing like the Euro style take fouls. I'm not into that. I love beating 2-on-1s as a defender. That drill was one of my favorite drills as a kid. I always loved it. You know what I mean? And faking guys, pulling the chair, acting like you're gonna step up, steal the pass. You know what I mean? Whatever, get the rebound, quick outlet. I just love doing that. I took a charge on one. And for me, that's just a point of pride. And I thought that really, it's just such a huge swing. We call it a 5-point swing because a lot of times they miss 2 and we end up with 3 on the other end. So it's a huge point swing, it's a momentum swing, and it's deflating. I think it took away their confidence and made them feel like, shit, I can't score 3-on-1 downhill on a fast break. How are we going to come back? We're down 17. And that's exactly what I wanted them to feel like, because I knew if they had confidence, they're dangerous, and I respected how dangerous they were. So I didn't want them to have any feeling that they could.
That's right. So, last post-game show of the year. Thank you for hanging out. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys.
Aidan, Tim, Nuri, Cade, Joey, All-Star Night next week. There won't be a post-game show, but we'll have full coverage. He's got the trophy for now. Lob City, your Summer 22 champs. Colin Burns, your Finals MVP. Thanks, guys. Congrats again, Lob City. And we'll see you next week for All-Stars.
One more thing. Shout out Lob City, 6 out of 7 champions.
That's right.
Zayna, I love you. Ramses, I love you. I know you can't be here, baby. We got this one for you.
Damn right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching.